Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. So today, for your pleasure, as you can see, I have the Matilda Hedgehog for you, and this is the first gameplay in full 4K with 60 FPS, which is outright fantastic. And even if you cannot watch 4K videos, then I still think that this is absolutely amazing to watch. Even in full HD, it also should look smoother and obviously everything just a bit sharper. So this is on my new PC. Very quick rundown on the statistics. GeForce RTX 3080, yes, I got one of those. AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12 core processor and 32 gigabyte of RAM, and that also then on a 4K monitor. So absolutely fantastic, and you will find the link in the video description down below to the video where you can see literally the PC itself and what the backstory of it is, which I think is very interesting. As much as in theory the Matilda Hedgehog is, and the very first scene tells you everything that you need to know about this tank. It's based, unsurprisingly, on the Matilda with some Hedgehog launchers which are fixed. So basically 178mm mortars, 7 of them, and you have no refill, and that makes the tank a little bit, well, situational if you want to use it. However, as you can see, it's also, technically speaking, an exposed AirModels. So I see now B, I have a range setting thanks to the cap. I launch those big shells, 45 meters per second mass velocity, long arc, and with one of the last impacts, we actually get a hit. And what I didn't see coming was the T-34 1942. He appeared over the ridgeline on behind the trees, and watch that. The AirModels was empty, and it blows up still. So I got Gaijined big time. So the question is obviously, how can you get the Matilda Hedgehog in the first place if you're willing to endure this and you just want to get it because you're a collector, or you want to go for the meme kills despite what you just saw? Well, in typical Gaijin fashion, you can either buy the battle pass directly for 2,000 or 2,500 golden eagles, and then by claiming the quote-unquote rewards instantaneously, you get the Matilda Hedgehog instantaneously, or you grind for it, which takes way too long in my opinion. Is the battle pass worth it? Is the Matilda Hedgehog worth it? In short, both no. So I think that this is a decent tank, but what I have just realized is how much power creep there has been even at low tiers. Not just because of the Swedish tanks, but also some other nations before that, because it's been a while since I played the Matilda last time. Actually, the last Matilda variant was the Soviet reward one with the T-34 gun. However, not everything is bad. To be honest, I love the 40mm and how the gun handling characteristics are, because it has then up to 89mm of penetration. Sorry about this. It has an HE shell that you can use versus aircraft, and then you also have an APHE shell, but it only has 66mm of penetration and falls off to only 49 at 500 meters quite drastically, with not the greatest reliability. However, 20 degrees of gun depression are pretty good, and in the first clip I tried to go on the ridgeline and try to use it, but then I also have to tell you that in 20 battles the armor never really saved me once, and people just go for the gun breach, which just gets me into an anxiety mood. Now, the next thing is that this tank is also pretty slow. So I think that the top speed is on paper not all that bad. It's certainly not good, but 24 kilometers per hour is kind of usable, especially on those low tier, close quarters, short range maps, where then also the 40mm is at its finest. However, for this 27.3 ton tank that has 75mm all around, you have only 190 horsepower. So that's a horsepower to ton ratio of way less than 10. It's, well, I think that the Jagdtiger has more than this. I'm not quite sure about this, don't quote me on this, but you know, it's not good. So that then also amplifies that you have no neutral steering, and your reverse gear is only 4 kilometers per hour. So once you manage to get into a situation where you then don't see it to be in your preference, don't worry, you can't get out of it anyway. So that is actually everything that I have to say about this tank. It is slow, its armor has been power creeped. I'm just mentioning here the Swedish tanks because their reserve tanks have 105 millimeters of APDS penetration, you know, just to put things into perspective. And the 40 millimeter is as fun as always, and you also see situations arising just like this. By the way, there are those graphical glitches where the prop stands still and also the landing gear is out on planes, and then you look at them again and it's not. So new power updates, yeah, the sky looks amazing. There are many graphical improvements also that I can now play on even higher settings on 4K than with my previous PC. To mention that again is fantastic, but it's a little bit unfinished, just like this tank. So a lot of things aside, like the pricing, this tank still can be fun, and yeah, you still can survive, especially SPA, and your armor is there, but you should never rely on it. There has been so much power creep. By the way, that AA is a true chat versus those virgin Stukas. Yeah, the thing is, I had some fun, but it was not something that was always fun. That was just always great. And to be honest, I got killed more than often trying to make the Hedgehog work, rather than just you know, going straight for the kill with the 40 millimeter, which has also a pretty decent rate of fire, which then kind of offsets the lack of post-penetration damage effect from the pure AP round. So with 2.8 seconds reload with a fully trained ace crew, it's rather acceptable, right? And 89 millimeters of penetration, yeah, it falls off. Yeah, you don't have the best of penetration against angles. Okay, I have no idea what those people tried to do. By the way, here I had a little bit of a panic attack and I tried to get the Hedgehog out to then not get splashed by the bombs, but as it turns out, it was not necessary. But I got them out anyway. At this stage of the battle, you know, I tried to get into position to then lob the shells into the cap circle, you know, by chance. I hope that my team would decap it and maybe cap it, and then some enemies would go into it again, and I have it ready to then kind of get into the right distance. So, yeah, the Matilda Hedgehog, it is debatable. It still has performance, but the Hedgehog is more a downside than an advantage. And to be honest, I think after this I have to play a different nation, because Britain is either filthy overpowered or absolutely bad. There is rarely anything in between. Anyway, that's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please let me know in the comment section if you see any sort of difference with the quality of the gameplay resolution, if it runs smoother than my usual videos. And check out the video where you can see the PC, again, link in the video description down below. And yeah, again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields, in the skies, and on the waves of War Thunder.